Hi everybody! Welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and I'm excited to have you join me again for another week of some really cute projects. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I am looking forward to creating some fall projects with you today. Let me refresh my computer here just so I can follow along with your comments. I hope you all have had a great weekend. I spent some time working at home on some projects and let's see, I'm gonna use my cell data there. Hopefully this works. Looks like my internet may have had an issue, but we will keep on going. So if you're watching, make sure to comment. Let me know that you're following along so I know that you're joining me here. I hope this is able to come up on my computer so that I can see you guys and see what's going on here. So let's see, hopefully that works, and let's refresh and I can follow along. If you're watching, make sure to comment and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where you're joining from, and make sure to say hi. I hope you all had a great weekend. If you're watching this via replay on YouTube or Facebook, make sure to comment and let me know where you're watching from. I always like to see where everybody is watching along from, so it looks like I'm live, so I'm glad that my internet decided to continue on and we can move forward. So my weekend was great. I had my online virtual holiday bingo this weekend. We had 23 players, which was an amazing turnout. Thank you everybody for registering. I had such a fun time, and I know everybody that won, they had a great time as well. We also got a new refrigerator and just a lot of different things. We took Noelle to the dog market on Saturday night, and it was so much fun. It was a great, relaxing weekend after my bingo was done. All right, so this week, make sure to like, comment, and share my video to be entered to win this week's prize patrol, and I'll show you what the prize is here coming up in a minute. But if you share my video, make sure to comment that you shared, because sometimes Facebook doesn't let me see everybody's profile that shared the video. So make sure to share and then comment that you shared so that I can see, and you can be entered into our prize patrol for this week. All right, I hope you all had a great weekend. I'm going to go ahead and switch our camera view here. There we go. I have this protective mat down here because we're gonna be creating with some Stampin' blends, and you always wanna make sure that your project space is covered. All right, a few quick announcements before we get into our projects today. The first one is our deadline for our September Holiday Card Club is coming up. This Saturday is the final day to register. There are numerous class options for you to choose from, and both in person and online. So if you are not comfortable attending in person just yet, that's okay. I have the same projects that are available in the to-go version as always. So our Holiday Card Club for September will be Tuesday, September 29th and Wednesday, September 30th. The deadline to RSVP and sign up for your class option, both in person and online, is this Saturday. So if you're interested in attending, make sure to register. All the details for September's class are in the description of this video. So you can click on there and see all the different varieties of ways you can register for this month's class. If you attend and register for all 4 months, you will get $25 to shop with in January during celebration. So make sure to plan on joining us for every month from now until the end of December. And then this little asterisk here for October, I'm scheduled to have foot surgery at the end of October. I should be getting the date here tomorrow, what the exact date is in October for that. So once I find out, of course, I'll update this and let everybody know when that those dates may change depending on when I have surgery. All right, So with these projects, we are featuring the Merry Moose bundle this month, and I love this moose. So if you already own this in your stash or you don't, there's an option for both. Or if you want to create your own projects with your own stamps, there's an option for that as well. So don't feel like you have to register for the one with the bundle. Whatever works with your crafting budget will be great. And I'd be happy to have you join us. So this month we are creating 3 projects with the Merry Moose bundle, and each kit receives two cards, enough supplies for 2 cards. So you'll walk home with 6 cards. This is meant to build up your stash for the holidays, so you are ready to go in December. Now is the perfect time to get your stamping on for the craft season before the holiday rush comes. So it may be too early for you to start thinking about Christmas presents, but it's never too early to start thinking about Christmas crafting. So all the details on how to register for this class are in the description of this video, and the deadline to sign up is this coming Saturday. Limited in-person seats are available, so if you're wanting to attend in person, make sure to sign up as soon as you can. The next information I have, just a reminder, right now we're still in the we're actually right in the middle of the Get and Go Starter Kit promotion. If you have a really long wish list from Stampin' Up! And you are wanting to get a great deal, the Get and Go promotion is perfect for you. So you can choose $125 worth of product for $99, and you receive on top of that 2 free stamp sets, a package of rhinestones, and then 16 card class kits. So this is to help you prepare for card classes if you're wanting to go that route. If not, you have 16 card packets all prepped and ready for you to create with the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set and the So Much Love stamp set. Now this is a $42 value on top of your $125 worth of product, all for $99. We welcome happy shoppers and business builders on the Stampin' Blondie team. So no matter what type of crafter or stamper you are, we welcome you all. So if you have any questions or are interested in this Get and Go promotion, the details are in this video, or feel free to comment below and let me know and I can get you more information. We have such a great team here with Stampin' Blondie, and I hope you decide to join us. You won't regret it. I know you won't. And I know some of our team members are watching, and they can tell you how much fun our team is as well. All right, Prize Patrol. Can't forget Prize Patrol. I love giving away prizes, and last week I had a drawing for the Apple Builder Punch. I'm actually going to use this in one of the projects today. Last week I created pumpkins with this builder punch, and today I'm going to create an apple, hence the name Apple Builder Punch. So I did a drawing of all the people that shared the video, and our winner for this week is Tammy Adams McNally, maybe? McAnnually? I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong, but feel free to reach out to me and I can get your address and get you this punch in the mail today. So Apple Builder Punch, our Prize Patrol winner, is Tammy, so congratulations, Tammy. Our Prize Patrol for this week, I'm going to feature on our card project. This is the 3/8 inch embroidered ribbon. It is the perfect ribbon for fall projects. It is like a cotton ribbon, easy to tie into a bow. I can show you that later today. But this ribbon is so beautiful, and I hope you decide to easily share my video and get entered into Prize Patrol this week. Just make sure to comment that you shared so that I can know. Like I said, sometimes Facebook is wonky and doesn't let me know who has shared. And always, every week, I have this free PDF in the description of this video that lists all of the products and measurements of the projects I create today. So if you have any questions about anything, the item number, the item name, or how much it is, all the details are on this free PDF in the description of this video. So you can click the link and print it off and follow along with me. Or if you really want to make these projects, you can shop with our host code this week, which is listed here and also on the top of the PDF. This host code is valid for 1 week, and anybody that places an order using this host code for the week gets a little something extra in the mail for me. So I hope you decide to create these projects on your own time, and I look forward to seeing what you create with these products that I'm featuring today. So today I am featuring the Banner Year stamp set. If you signed up and registered for my virtual holiday bingo this past weekend, we created 3 projects using this stamp set. But I wanted to showcase some other projects that can be made using this stamp. This is kind of a sleeper stamp. It is all the way back on page 65 of our August through December mini catalog. And it may have been overlooked by all the other amazing products that we have in our catalog. This stamp is perfect for beginner crafters, intermediate, and advanced, because not only do you have a lot of stamps to choose from, this ranges from, we have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, and Valentine's Day in here as well. So you could get a good 6 months use out of this stamp set just for one stamp purchase. So this is a photopolymer stamp set. It comes with 29 stamps for $17. And like I said, it's called Banner Year, and it's photopolymer, meaning you can see completely through the stamp where you're gonna stamp your image. So we're gonna feature that project today, and I am creating these 2 adorable projects, perfect for fall or teachers in your life. So this is a little Kit Kat holder. I found this apple pie Kit Kat at the grocery store the other week, and I knew I had to get it and just like make a project with the apple builder punch. I haven't tried it yet. I only bought 1. So once I am done with this, I'm gonna open it and try it out and let you guys know what it's like. But it doesn't look like it has like chocolate. It has white cream, it says. So we'll see what it tastes like when I'm done. But this little box, it has a belly band, like a little band that goes around it. And it opens up here where you can write a little note to whoever you give it to. Or if you don't emboss this section here, you can write a little note there as well. So that's going to be our second project. Our first project is this fall card, and we're gonna create these hexagons out of a different shaped punch. So you can see how easy it is to create additional shapes from one punch, and just by the width of your paper, very easy to change out, and then you get a whole different look to this one image from this punch. These both feature the Banner Year stamp set, but then this one is the Harvest Hellos that I featured last week. I did pumpkins last week, but you can't have fall without apples as well. So we're gonna create this project first, and then we're going to move into our second project here. So for this one, I am using a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, and I'm using a piece of the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper. Now this paper is a specialty designer series paper, and it comes with 12 different designs. Double-sided sheets, and it has gold and copper foiling throughout the paper. So I hope that if I move it back and forth, you guys can see how pretty that paper is. Now these feature kind of non-traditional fall colors, but I think this is a really great combo of colors. We have Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Gold Foil, and Mint Macaron, and Very Vanilla. Looks like my computer, hopefully is not restarting, and I hope you guys can still see me. I can't see your comments there anymore. Looks my computer decided to exit out of Chrome, so I'll follow your comments on here. So we have a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock. This is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and I cut it right in half of a normal piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And I've already scored it and used my bone folder to crisp up my line. Now this is a piece of that Specialty Designer Series paper. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' seal here down the sides to glue that right on. No dimensionals on this piece. There. I have a piece of Bumblebee cardstock that I haven't prior embossed. Now I don't do my embossing or die cutting on camera because it can shake the camera and kind of cause everything to get off whack. But this is embossed with the Tasteful Texture embossing folder. This is probably my favorite embossing folder that we have in the annual catalog. It just gives a subtle texture to your paper, and it's great because it's not too overpowering, and it just kind of brings some additional texture to your project. So I'm using just regular adhesive down the side of that, and this is 3 inches by 4 inches right here. All right, for our hexagons, I am using the Tailored Tag Punch. Now, hopefully it's not glary so you guys can see the shape of this punch. I'll flip it over so you can see it better. So this is actually kind of like a bigger diamond shaped here, but when you cut a piece of cardstock at 1.5 inches and you feed it through the top like you're just doing a normal punch, let me get it lined up and then I can show you. When you have it there, this is gonna punch a hexagon. So you get a completely different look to your punch. It's like a 2-in-1 kind of. So we're gonna punch that, and there's our first hexagon. And you can also get flagged ends to your piece of cardstock. So it's kind of like a triple punch, actually. You can get the flagged image, the full image, or the hexagon just from one sheet of 1.5 inch cut. It's super simple. I did a zebra card recently that had a bunch of these little hexagons on them, and it was so cute, but I mailed it to somebody, so I don't have it anymore. Oops, I actually mailed out a card, which I was happy. I like making cards, but I'm not very good at sending them, so hopefully I'm getting a little better at sending them out. So I am using, like I said, the Banner Year stamp set, and I'm going to use Cinnamon Cider for the leaves, Crumb Cake for the acorns, Soft Suede for our squirrel, and then our sentiment is Cherry Cobbler just to tie in our cardstock base here. If you're gonna use a different color for your cardstock base, I always feel like it should be an ink somewhere else just to try to tie everything together. And then I'm going using that 3/8 of an inch embroidered ribbon for the bow here, and that's what is our prize patrol this week. So if you share the video, you can get entered to win a roll of this ribbon. All right, let's get stamping. So we're gonna do our squirrel first. Let me just move some of this out of our way. And like I said, I'm working soft suede for our squirrel and 1 hexagon right in the middle. This is such a easy stamp set to stamp with too, so you don't have to have a lot of skills to be able to create with this stamp set. Perfect, perfect for multiple occasions. That's why it was our bingo set. So next we're gonna do the acorns, and that is Crumb Cake. And it's just 1 acorn that I stamped 3 times in there. And while this stamp or this card has a lot of ink pads to it, you could do this whole project in 1 ink pad if you had only one of these colors. You don't have to have them all to create this project. So that's something that's also fun. And then our last one here is our leaves, and that is Cinnamon Cider. This is one of our 2020-2022 in colors. So this means that this and the 4 other coordinating colors will be, where's my leaf? There it is. These colors will be around until 2022, and then they'll retire. So every year Stampin' Up! Gives us 5 different in colors to be able to add to our core color families. And there we go. And you can see I got a little splotchy right there. It's okay. That means it's homemade. Homemade is the best made. So you don't have to throw that away and start all over. That's how somebody knows that it was made with love. And then our last part is our sentiment. I just have a piece of scratch Whisper White cardstock, and I'm using the Happy Fall Y'all stamp. I'm gonna ink it up in Cherry Cobbler, and we're just gonna trim off some of the edges. I purposely stamped it more towards the middle of my scrap because I'm gonna trim off the edges here. Let me get my trimmer, forgot to grab that. And we're gonna trim this off. Yes, I removed the guard on my trimmer. Yes, I know I'm probably gonna cut my finger off one day, but I can see it a little better when I don't have it, when I don't have the guard on. Don't do what I do there. And then we're just gonna take scissors, and instead of doing the flagging method for this, I just wanted to create just cut it straight, like diagonal at an angle, just to kind of go with the harsh lines of the hexagons there. So that's just a different way to do your sentiments as well. Or you could do the flag if you like, where you cut up the middle and then you go corner to corner to give it that banner look. But I just wanted to do a little quick something different when I did mine. Assembly time. So we're gonna use Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of our hexagons. That's why I did not use any other dimensionals on my project, because I really wanted these hexagons to pop up on my project. And 2 little dimensionals will be perfect for each hexagon. Go. And I did not pop up my sentiment either, because I really want that focal point to be these punches. There we go. Linda, you took the guard off of yours too. See? This rebellious crafters. Look at us go. Okay, and then I'm just working my way down, starting from the top, and I'm lining up my edges so that they are all fitting here. That's gonna go there. My sentiment, just with regular seal adhesive, right here in the corner. And then our bow is gonna go right below that. So I work my way down when I'm adhering this on there. And to adhere this ribbon, this will work really well with a glue dot, or if you have liquid glue, Tombow liquid glue works great. I'm gonna use liquid glue to adhere down my ribbon, just because I feel it holds it just a little bit better than a glue dot. All right, if you've never watched my videos before, I love to tie bows, and I'm gonna show you exactly the way that I tie my bows. I create 2 bunny ears that are farthest apart from each other, and I take my right hand and I loop it over and around my left. So right, over, and around my left. And I pull that through to create, oh, come on, there we go, to create my ribbon. I always cut more ribbon than's needed, just so I can work with it and get the bow look that I want. There we go. Once you have that done, I like to cut, especially this ribbon, at an angle, just so it doesn't fray. But this ribbon does have kind of that stitched look to it, so it is meant to fray just a little bit. So it's not gonna have that perfect edge to it. A little bit of Tombow liquid glue on the back, not too much, you don't want it to seep through. And then I like to place a clear block on top just to hold it down while it bonds. With the liquid glue, it's very forgiving, so if you don't have it in exactly the place that you want it, you can kind of scooch it around on your paper until you have it where you want it. If you use a glue dot, obviously you would have to pick the glue dot up to move it around. But that is our first project using the Banner Year stamp set. I hope you guys like this project. Let me know what you think in the comments. A quick and easy fall card, and the best part is this layout could be used for Christmas. So instead of the squirrel, acorns, and leaves, you could have the Santa hat, the holly berries, this little vine here. You could do this for Halloween with the spider web, the pumpkins. So this set is perfect for creating a variety of cards using the same layout. You just change the colors and the stamped images and you have a perfect Christmas card too. So this is our first project. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys like this first project. All right. Got it like, I think the smoke is a little bit, you know, just making me a little stuffy. So we have here in Arizona, I mean, Arizona's on fire, California's on fire, everywhere is on fire on the West Coast. So definitely keeping them in my prayers. My sister lives in Burbank, California. So luckily there aren't any fires by her, but this is definitely a smoky season for her as well. All right, the main event, which I know you all came for, is this super cute Kit Kat bar holder that we are going to create. It's a 3D project and it is very fun. So it's a little more advanced than our first project, but it's still very fun and exciting to create. So we are going to start, and all the dimensions for this are on that free PDF, so don't feel like you have to write them down very quickly, but know that they're online on the PDF. So I am starting with a piece of cardstock that is 9 1/4 by 7 3/4. So 9 1/4 by 7 3/4. And we are going to do some scoring here. Now you can score if you have the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. It comes with a scoring blade, but I prefer to score using our scoreboard. If you're not too familiar with what this is Stampin' Up's scoreboard. It has lines every 1/8 of an inch for you to score your projects. If you've ever taken a card class from me or have watched my videos, this is what I use to score all your projects, 1 by 1. So I create a lot of projects with this. You can see exactly where I score for easel cards and regular cards. It gets used quite a bit. So on the long end, the 9 1/4 edge, we are gonna score at, let me make sure I'm reading this right, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 6, and 6 1/2. You're going to then flip your paper and score at 3 and 3 1/2. Okay. And move this off to the side because we are done with that. And now we're going to use our bone folder, or if you have any other kind of a hard surface, like a credit card will work, your fingernail will work. I like to use our bone folder, and I'm just going to burnish all of our lines here. So you're going to crisp up your lines, all of them. Okay. Same thing on this side. Again on this side here. And then same thing here. And then last line here as well. Okay, now you can see all of my lines with the score. I feel like one side, this is the back, one side's the front. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut now. So I got my scissors out here. And we are gonna cut, let me make sure I'm telling you this right before I cut the wrong thing. We're gonna cut from this first score line here all the way up to this second score line here. Okay, we're gonna cut this. Just gonna cut that. And this. Okay. Same thing on this next side. We're gonna cut from the first score line all the way up to to this second score line up top here. Cut that there. There we go. So you have kind of like this, looks like an old library pocket card. This is what this reminds me of here. Next, we're gonna create our tabs. So I'm gonna use a pair of smaller scissors for this. And this little box area right here, let me hold this up so you guys can see, I hope. There's a little box area right there. We're gonna cut tabs out of this. So you're just gonna cut right to that score line on each side and flip and do the same thing. Now, once you have these tabs, what I like to do is I like to trim them like at an angle just a little bit. I feel like it helps it stick into the box just a little bit better when you cut a little notch out of it. So then you don't have score lines butting up to score lines and it just tucks in there a little bit nicer. So cut some little notches out there. There we go. All right, and get that out of the way. We are going to use Stampin' Seal Plus on this project. Now, before I use that, I'm gonna cut my diagonal pieces right here, and I'll show you the best way that I do this. Let me get out my big trimmer here. So I like to use my big Stampin' Up! Trimmer for this part. Yes, you'll notice I use my trimmer upside down. For me, it's just so much easier. So what I do is I'm gonna line up this first score line to this corner here, and I'm gonna move it down just so it tucks in there. So I'm lining up that score line right to the edge of this, and I'm gonna cut, and that's gonna create your diagonal. And if you're really crafty, I'm sure you could find something that is like amazing for this. You can create something great. I know you guys will. So I'm just gonna flip this over and do the same thing on this side, corner to the edge here, just making sure everything's lined up. And I'm gonna cut that second pot. And that's what's going to be our little peekaboo here. We can put the trimmer away. Now I want to stamp on this, so as you can see, let me move the belly band. I have used Versamark on this. If you are not too familiar with what Versamark is, it is a watermark stamp pad. So this is something that's really fun and exciting to use. And I like to use watermark stamp pads for creating tone-on-tone stamping. So I have this little, I think this looks like apple seeds. That's the reason why I picked it. It's this little stamp that has kind of droplet looking things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my watermark stamp pad and I'm going to stamp, this is the back of our box. I'm gonna stamp on these two wings here. This is going to be the fold over part, and I just randomly stamped these on. There's no specific way that I stamp them. As you can see, it's pretty quick. You don't have to take all day stamping these little parts. Other side as well, I've got my watermark stamp pad, quick stamping here for tone on tone, just to give it a little extra look to the front. And that's what we're doing with the watermark stamp pad. Next is our adhering the box together. So like I said, I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus. Now, how does this differ from our Stampin' Seal adhesive? Our Stampin' Seal Plus is an extra bonding adhesive. It is very strong. If you were to run this down and then you placed it in the wrong place and you try to pull it apart, it's going to rip your paper. So you want to make sure when you use Stampin' Seal Plus that you know exactly where you're gonna put your adhesive. I like to use Stampin' Seal for my everyday crafting, and when I'm going to do 3D boxes or treat bags or something that I really want to keep together, Stampin' Seal Plus is what I use for that. So I don't use Plus too often. I use the Seal every day, but the Seal Plus is just I feel a special adhesive for this. So I'm going to put adhesive on these little pieces here and the tabs on the back side of the box. So let me just get that to catch. So we're gonna put it there, and then a little bit on the tabs. Now the Stampin' Seal Plus is little segmented pieces of adhesive, so it does go on a little easier than the Seal, which is one long strip of adhesive. But the Seal Plus is made for like kind of going around corners of little projects that you have here. Did he crash the video? I hope he didn't crash the video. If you're still watching, let me know. I hope it didn't crash. If it did, this is all recorded so you can watch later. So we're gonna tuck in these little tabs on the inside of our flaps. So we're gonna press that in there. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. The flap is gonna go on the inside of our box. You can use your bone folder to kind of push that in there to get the adhesive on there a little bit more. And then we're gonna fold up our box here, and then it's gonna stick on the inside for that. Okay, and you can run your finger along there to just kind of fold and adhere everything together. Right, so there is the outline of our box, just making sure everything is all adhered and stuck together. There we go. All right, I hope I'm still live. Let me know if you're still watching along. Let me know. I don't have it up on my computer because for some reason it exited out of my Chrome and it's in laptop mode, so I can't bring it back that easily, or it's in tablet mode. So next we're going to do this little adhesive part right here, and I have a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock that I embossed with the Greenery embossing folder. So this is actually in the annual catalog, and it's a 2-pack embossing folder. So I have Greenery 1 and Greenery 2 labeled. But again, I felt like this kind of looks like apple seeds as well. So I decided to emboss with this. And I just am gonna use my Stampin' Seal regular. So no more Seal Plus, we're done with Seal Plus. And I'm just gonna put that right there on the inside. Now while you're working, this would be the best time to put in your Kit Kat, because then you can kind of push everything around and make sure it's all tight in there. With the Kit Kat, it kind of gives it the force against it. But I'm just gonna move mine back here. All right, our belly band. So this is what's going to hold your box together. And I just have a piece of scratch crumb cake paper. It's at 1 inch width. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start it in the back. So I'm just gonna do this. There we go. So I'm gonna start it in the back here, and then I want to wrap it around and kind of go along those lines of the box. And why I want this in the front is because our stitched image here is gonna cover this over. So if this was in the back, you would see that crease there. But I'm just going to kind of crisp up those lines, and I have the stitched shaped image. This is from the Tasteful Label dies, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive right in that pocket corner there to overlap this. Now you don't want your belly band to be too tight. If you put it on too tight, you can't get it back on, and it'll be really hard to slide it up and down to write your message in there. So I just move it a little bit off to the edge so that you can still kind of move it up and down your candy. So you don't want to put it on there too tight. Now in the Banner Year stamp set, there is a stamp that says "You're Sweet." And I thought this was perfect for the apple and the candy as well. So I'm stamping that with Tuxedo Black Memento ink, just regular black ink, nothing fancy. And I'm just putting it in the lower right-hand corner of our stitched image. I need that out because I'm gonna cut or stamp our apple next. So this is from the Harvest Hello stamp set. I featured this last week and I created these really cute 3D pumpkins using this stamp. But really this is meant for apple making. It has an apple builder punch and this is our main apple shape here. So I'm going to stamp my image, my stem, and a leaf here from that. And I'm using a scratch piece of cardstock. You don't need a big piece because we're gonna punch it out. So I'm inking this up. You may wonder, well, why isn't there anything in the middle of this stamp? There was rubber there and you're stamping. You could pick up ink in the middle and that would ruin your whole image. You would have kind of a shadow there. So we've got our apple. I'm gonna stamp my stem. And this I'm gonna do sideways like this because that's the way the punch is as well. And then our last piece here is our leaf. And I'm gonna do the same thing with that there. I may need to restamp that one, maybe depending on where my image is here. So this one I'm gonna stamp or punch out my apple first. And that's garbage. I always like to stamp first and then punch so you can line everything up. And then I flip it over so you don't have pieces flying around the room if you were to punch right side up. And I lost, there it is. See, even when it's upside down, the pieces kind of fly all over the place. We have our stem. Well, where did our stem go? There we go. Our stem, our apple, and our leaf. For this, I'm using Stampin' blends. You could use Stampin' Write markers, colored pencils, watercolor markers, any kind of coloring medium that you want. But I like Stampin' blends because they're really fun to get kind of that shadowy look onto your project. So I'm gonna start with the dark Real Red, and I'm gonna color in just a little bit like that. Now this is why I have our workspace covered, because our Stampin' blends can bleed through the back. But I want to come in with my light Real Red marker on the brush end. And these are meant to be blended together. So it's going to get rid of that harsh line from the dark that I put down. You don't want to get too close to your line because these tend to feather just a little bit. They're meant to fill in all those spaces on your project, but they're very quick to dry and to use. They come with two ends. You have a brush end, which I'm using right now, and a tip end, which is like a writing end. When I'm doing bigger spaces like this, I like to use the brush end because I can cover more quickly. But when I get to the stem and the leaf, I'm going to use the tip end, just so you can see how easier it is to get that. All right, and you can go back in and make your shadowing different if you want it more dark in one area or light in another, but that's good for right now. For a leaf, you can't have an apple without Granny Apple Green. I mean, they go hand in hand. So I am using the tip end of the Granny Apple Green, the dark, and I'm just gonna follow those lines on the leaf for the image and then color in with the tip end here, the light, and that just kind of blends everything together that quickly. And the last part, I'm using dark soft suede on the stem, and just a little light line will fill that in perfectly. Cover this up so we don't get black everywhere. And now to assemble. For our apple, I like to use Scotch tape. It is the easiest way to adhere these little pieces to your apple. So I have the stem, and I'm gonna put that right on the back here with Scotch tape. I feel like it's, you know, instant bond. It stays where you want it to, and you don't have to wait for anything to dry. So our apple leaf. I like to turn this right side up just so I can see exactly where it's gonna be first. And then I'm going to use that Scotch tape there. And there's your apple. Very easy, quick and assembled, and you didn't even have to use really any glue. On the back of our stitched shape, regular Stampin' seal right down the middle. That's all you need, because it's just gonna, you want to adhere right there. Any more and you may have too much adhesive. See, it fits right over that crease of our crumb cake, and then you have it sliding right there. Our last bit is our apple that we're gonna adhere with dimensionals. And I wanna make sure, because I have it hanging off of my stitched piece, so I'm gonna put dimensionals more on this side of the apple. Just kind of halfway in a moon shape, crescent moon shape. There we go. Our last dimensional right in the corner. And to finish our project off, you can never have a project without bling or some kind of ribbon, which is fun. So I'm using, these are my favorite adhesive gems from the August through December mini catalog. These are the wonderful gems. They're so beautiful. They have gold flecking in them. So it just, the red and the gold together, the clear and the gold, they're so pretty. So this is our second project using the Banner Year stamp set and this really cute apple pie Kit Kat box. Like I said, I haven't tried this apple pie Kit Kat. As soon as I'm done, I'm gonna try it and let you guys know what, how good it is or what it tastes like. So I hope everybody enjoyed our projects for this week's Makers Monday. As always, the information for all of our projects is found on a free PDF in the description of this video. If you would like to place an order for any of the items that you see today, feel free to contact me or shop online using our weekly hostess code, which is in the description of this video too. I will see everybody next week for another week of Makers Monday, where we'll continue to create fall projects to help you be inspired for the season. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you again next week. Bye.